Now, the next sutta is 1.8.6. Of slight account, monks, is the loss of such things as relatives. Miserable indeed among losses is the loss of wisdom. And then 1.8.7. Of slight account, monks, is the increase of such things as relatives. Chief of all the increases is that of wisdom. Wherefore I say, monks, you should train yourselves thus. We will increase in wisdom. You must train yourselves to win that. Then 1.8.8. Of slight account, monks, is the loss of such things as wealth. Miserable indeed among losses is the loss of wisdom. And 1.8.9. Of slight account, monks, is the increase of such things as wealth. Chief of all the increases is that of wisdom. Wherefore I say, monks, thus must you train yourselves. We will increase in wisdom. You must train yourselves to win that. So these four suttas, the Buddha is trying to tell us that wisdom is more important than all the worldly things. Because among the worldly things, for most people, relatives are extremely important. Relatives and wealth, these are the two most important things in the world for ordinary people. But the Buddha says all that is not important at all compared to wisdom. Wisdom is the something that is much more important than the worldly things. Because if we have wisdom, then we would not continue in this round of suffering and the round of rebirths. And how do you get wisdom? First, we have to listen to the Buddha's teachings, like here, the suttas, because by listening to the Buddha's teachings, then we understand what is important, what is not important, like here in the sutta. And then also we know what to practice, like keeping the precepts, doing charity, listening to the Buddha's teachings, the Dhamma, and then practice meditation, etc. So that is how we increase in our wisdom, by understanding the Buddha's teachings, the Dhamma, and then putting it into practice, especially meditation. But I always like to say that meditation is like a university compared to the other aspects of the Buddha's teachings, like keeping the precepts, making offerings. And so it is not something that we plunge into for a beginner. It is best that we study the Buddha's teachings first, so that we have the theory before we go into practice. Just like we want to drive a car, you have to learn the highway code first and learn how to steer, etc., before you go on the road. Otherwise, a lot of us, we get into wrong teachings, and we get into it for many years before we realize that we have been wasting our time, and then we stumble back into the